What's up, everybody? This is Dwyane Wade. I am here at our studios in LA. A week ago, we were here filming, and you guys will get a chance as you watch this episode to see the moment that the Santa Ana winds started to pick up. In real time, we had an alert at the same time that the fires in the Palisades were starting to pick up. So we want to take this moment to thank all of our first responders. We want to thank all of our police officers, the paramedics, the EMTs, all the public volunteers. Most importantly, we want to thank our firefighters, all of our firefighters in LA, all of our firefighters who came from outside of LA, especially the ones that are serving time, that are giving up sleep, that are giving up food, that are giving up health, and are risking their lives to make sure that the city that we love in the state of California do not burn down. And so everybody, continue to pray for LA. Thank you guys for y'all text messages, for y'all calls, for y'all worries and concerns. For all of our families and our friends. Once I get done, you guys will see some information that will come up to show you guys places that you can donate, places you can assist, and places you can show up. Thank you, guys. I wanted to say that to the players as you hear a lot of bickering going on. I stood up there and I said that because the grass ain't always greener. It wasn't ran the way LeBron James needed it to be ran. It wasn't ran the way Dwyane Wade. It's ran the way Pat Riley's gonna run it.
I'm Bob.
I'm D. Wright.
And I'm D. Wade. Wait a minute, I'm Dwyane. Hey, how y'all do it? How y'all introduce yourselves? Like when you introduce yourself to somebody, you say I'm Bob every time? I'm confused. I got multiple names. That's why I'm asking.
Same. So Bob, B.
You say I'm B?
This is B. Some people call me B.
All right, but when you introduce yourself, what do you say?
I say I'm Bob.
Bob?
Yeah.
Me, it depends on how hip you are. If you're hip, you're more with the culture, I'm D. Wright. If you're OG, I'm Darrell.
I'm Darrell. Your handshake gonna be a little different.
Yeah, a little firm.
All right, well, all right, for this show purposes, I'm Dwyane.
All right.
And the reason I said that, because someone said that to me the other day. They was like, did you just say I'm D. Wade? I was like, yeah, bro, I am.
Right.
He was like, but yeah, you just introduce yourself as D. Wade. I was like, well, who you want me to introduce myself as? Like, I am actually D. Wade. I don't know what else.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But somebody they called me on it one day. It was like, did you just?
That's me. I am me.
Yeah, but that's your nickname.
Yeah. I was like, man, I don't know. I don't want to call myself Dwyane all the time. It's so formal.
It is formal.
It's formal. All right, man. We back. 2025. Exciting times over here, man. Obviously, we're in a new environment, new space, new situation. But we're gonna check in, man. Bob, we'll check in with you. How was the end of the year? How was the start of this new year?
It's been good, man. It's been funny because we've been talking about this space coming into a space a few shows now, and to actually be here feels pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you coming towards the end of the year. I had a bunch of family in town. We didn't leave LA. We stayed. And that was different because, I like to go back home and we had family at the house. There's a lot of kids at my house. It's a whole lot of kids.
Sleeping on couches and stuff?
It was air mattresses, air mattresses and all that, the whole nine. And my kids, when they friends are in town, don't go to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
Sugar rush.
Dog, 2, 3 o'clock. Every night is go time. It's rave night. So they're like, we're going to do it's an all-nighter. Kids love still saying they want to do an all-nighter.
What's up with that? When you were a kid, you want to do an all-nighter.
I'm doing all-nighter.
That's like a big thing. Like, I'm going to stay up all night. No, that does nothing.
I think it makes you feel grown. Makes you feel like an adult a little bit.
Maybe, but it proves nothing. It proves nothing, but you're going to be tired the next day.
And so I be trying to, so part of me wants to be that dad that wants to wake them up early and just wake them up like at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, even though they went to bed at 5, and just make them upset. But I don't get up myself that early. That's been so my check-in was more about just having the family time, and this is coming into this space. So this has been like a good just wind up to a level up. How about you?
Man, my checkup, man, it's kind of been a roller coaster, to be honest with you, the last few weeks, man. I had a great Christmas. Spent this Christmas in Orlando at Disney World. locked in with about 16,000 steps at Disney World.
For sure.
Feet was
For sure.
barking after that.
What did you
I had them way away. I had these on.
Okay.
Yeah, way away.
You stepping comfortably.
Yeah, man, you looked out for me right in time, right before the holidays, man.
The booms,
yeah,
the boom cushion.
They feel so good. But yeah, man, I had a great Christmas, had an amazing New Year's at the house with some close family, and then go to Arizona for my son's high school tournament. And wake up to some horrible news. You know, we lost a real brother, and Chris Bernard, somebody that I've been working closely with the last 6 months with his company, Rebrand, and just had a sudden death, man, and been really difficult trying to get through it. This is a brother, somebody I spoke to every single day, and just to see my guy go out and just transition, man, has been tough, but just trying to stay strong. Feel so bad for his young 3 babies, his wife. So I send my condolences to his family.
Same.
Yeah, man, send his condolences, man. He had a big reason of why we had our first ACE tournament. The brand Rebrand. They came through big time. Also with the Wade team, Wade, and put on an amazing event. So he's going to be truly missed. And we'll live in 2025 and beyond, keep his legacy going and really getting the ACE brand and the things that he really pushed me to do, to make him proud. So, yeah, man, it's been a roller coaster the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's very rare that we have, as athletes, once the ball start bouncing for us, that we have people who want to do things with us and for us at all the different levels of being an athlete. And so, Chris was one of those guys in the industry that, everybody at some point, could count on. And I think that's the hardest thing, is to find people that you can count on.
Yes.
And it does it very selflessly, as he did. And so obviously a big void in his family's life, a big void in his friend's life, a big void in the sports community, of athletes who are really trying to do stuff and getting support. From Chris and everything that he was building. So, man, we thank Rebrand for what they've done, even to get us to the point with ACE, where we feel like we can do something, is because of someone's belief in you.
Yes.
And so, man, we're very thankful for that. And it was a sad moment, when we all had to share the information of losing someone. So, moment of silence for Chris and his family. Yeah. Yeah, man. So even my check-in goes right into that family time. I was in Long Island with my family and just spending time, man. It was cold. It was cold. It was -6 one night, I think.
Wow.
Like the wind chill was blowing. It was like, when you look at the weather app, it's like, hey, it's 35 outside, but it's -6 with the wind. You're like, wait, what?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? How's it 35 but -6 with... I felt it. I felt the difference. 35 was in the front.
Wow.
-6 was in the back. It was crazy. And so my wife and my daughter was not the happiest two ways that I've ever been around. They love the sun. They don't really do all the cold. And it was like, when you're a dad, you get to like, well, we doing this trip, like, hey, we gonna take this trip. And I was like, hey, we going to, we just bought a house. We going to the cold. We gonna have a cold Christmas. They was looking at me like,
why?
Why are we doing this? We could come here in April. We can come here in July.
Where do y'all normally go?
We normally go to Hawaii. So we use Christmas as a family as kind of our connection time. My wife's career, my life, and how we support our kids to be their own individual selves. A lot of times we don't get a lot of time together, especially consistent time together. And so we normally use that last 2 weeks of the year to just kind of reconnect as a family and just spend time together. So we don't like to do that in warm places.
Yeah.
And we've spent like 4 of the last 5 years been in Hawaii. So anyway, you guys were seeing Kav was not happy. I think I posted some stuff.
Yes, you have.
She was not feeling it at all. But I loved every minute of it. The Chicago kid in me was smiling that I got to, feel that wind chill, but also to hear that water. I'm a water baby at the same time. And so I kind of I was in heaven. I was out there in heaven, but my 2 girls wasn't. So my check-in is, man, just coming off the holidays, coming out of 2024, it was a crazy year for me. It was one of the most bizarre years of my life, especially as an adult. And just to get to the end of the year, to walk through it and come into 2025 with health, with family's health, You know, that was what was important. And so, man, my check-in is coming to this year just happy. You know, I think last year I came sprinting into 2024. Like I had so many things I want to accomplish. This year I just want to accomplish stillness right now. Just be around my people, be around my loved ones, figure out what I want to do next, but just be still in the moment. So that's my plan right now.
I love that, bro.
I like that. Since last time we checked in together, it's been a lot happening. A whole lot happening.
It's too much happening in this world all the time.
Is,
like you remember back in the day, it was like one big thing, one big event will go down that you could prepare for, or
I think you got to blame that on social media. A lot of this stuff we didn't see. You heard about it. You know, you probably heard about it a few weeks later.
Facts.
But social media is right in our face, so we can't duck it.
Instantly.
Can't hide from it. You know, it's right in your face. So I think that's what makes things, you know, so difficult and just like what, like they did what? What happened? Yeah, it's all bad.
Man, you get insensitive, like you know what I'm saying, to things because it happens so much. We just move on so fast to the next thing because the next thing is happening and it's right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, why so? I don't want to know about all this stuff that's happening in the world.
I'm with
you know
you,
what I'm saying? At one point I did. Now I'm like, yo,
it's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I can't focus on one thing. I'm hopping up. As soon as I got to get to this and I got to get to this, I'm like, man, can we focus?
I be waiting for stuff to bubble up because, you know, for me, I don't really watch it. And there's something that my wife, she talks about me a lot. And she says, you don't watch the news. I hate watching the news. I don't like
local news or worldly news.
I don't want to really know. Like for me, if it's gonna bubble up to me, then I have to pay attention to it. But until then, I don't want to have to keep inundating myself with like this constant, just regular, this life news stuff that might not have nothing to do with me that normally wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
But because I have to worry about it now, or like it's something that's popping in your face all the time, I be like, oh my gosh, like you said, it's something always going on. Like literally something probably going on right now. We don't even know. Well, somebody might have got traded, something.
That win up there.
Santa Ana.
Hey man, I heard that win is gonna be crazy today. So that's the newest thing.
All right, I'm from Chicago, so when I get the alert last night, not saying that I don't know what's gonna go down.
Yeah.
All right, I'm new here. But when I get the alert last night, it's red alert, life threatening for wind chill. What does that mean? Bro, what do you mean? What does that mean out here in LA? Tell me.
Well,
tell the people because this is
help me. Tell me too.
Well, I've been gone for 13 years, living in the Bay Area, so this is all news to me. Because I remember I sent you something too last night saying, "Hey man, are we still golfing?" Because they're talking about life and death. So hopefully everybody is safe out there and nothing serious happens.
As a family, we put on hold. We put hotel rooms on hold, just in case. A lot of power is lost. A lot of things going on, so we put hotel rooms on hold just in case something go down. That's what we do every time that it's a life-threatening alert. I don't know. Like I said, I'm new here. I'm
gonna tell you this right now. If you put hotel rooms on hold, that's past first world problems because I ain't doing that.
Man, that's some rich problems right there. I ain't
damn.
I was gonna go to my pop's house, my mom's house. This man said, you getting the whole floor?
He said
you just getting 2 rooms?
Plural rooms. Damn, dog.
Hold on. That was on hold, bro. Like,
but still,
we ain't paying for it. We on the tea time. We just booked the tea time.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Well,
I just gotta have. For me, I'm always about it. Give me another plan because if this plan right here don't work, well, where are we going? If all my lights go out, if I can't eat no food, where am I going? Where's my shelter?
Mm-hmm.
So you find the certain.
I get it.
Places that have
I get it.
But that's what we dealing with out here in LA right now.
That's what we dealing with.
Right,
so
enough of that. Because by the time this airs, the Santa Ana's gonna be gone. Right. Move on for the Santa Ana. You wasted so much time on that.
But now I'm gonna go into the world of sports.
It's a lot happening in the world of sports.
Right. But specifically because you two here. And something going on the last few days, and I'm like, yo,
When you say something going on, yo, what you talking about?
Well, I don't want to say something going on. Well, ain't no secret, I guess, right?
Something's going on.
but like for the fact that I'm from Miami, y'all both played in Miami, and Miami Heat right now ain't the best. Not having the best set of news right now.
Well, let's just say it's January, and trade deadlines is coming up in February.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
what
we at
it
the
is.
time of the year in the NBA where get your popcorn out because in any moment it can go. Like I didn't ever experience this, so let's talk to D-Wright who experienced it. D-Wright, someone who experienced trade deadline, talk to us about the nerves that you have when your name is mentioned in trades and all that. Before we get to the Miami Heat
Got you.
live drama.
It gets spicy. It gets spicy. I was very fortunate that I never got traded in the season. The one time I did get traded was in the off season, but I will never forget the time when we wanted to trade for Mike Miller. I believe Mike Miller.
Yes.
This time
Shout out to Killer.
Yeah, this time I'm starting. I'm playing well. You know, I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah.
And it always would be me and UD. We'd be the first two names that come up. And UD, UD didn't like that at all. Hey, you see they talking about us again? And I used to be like, yeah, I seen it. And we were in Memphis. It was a trade deadline. And I remember tapping in with D like, man, damn, you think they're going to trade us? And he like, I don't know, man. And took my pregame nap, woke up, and I was safe. And then I remember Pat coming beelining straight to me. He was like, you good, man. We want you here. So it's definitely nerve-wracking, especially when you got to go out there and do a job and you're comfortable, you're at home. I spent all that time in Miami. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, it's about to be at the end. Like, I'm really about to leave. So guys are definitely staying close to that phone. Guys are definitely nervous. A lot of guys don't want to leave, and some guys want to get the heck up out of there. So it definitely is nerve-wracking.
How do you play the game? How do you focus on playing and giving your all for that jersey of that city that possibly don't want you to be there anymore?
Well, you know what? I always thought of it like, if I touch the floor, I'm auditioning for everybody anyway. Okay. So if it is somebody that's interested in me, I think they're going to push the button quicker if I go out here and show out and play at a high level. If I'm playing terrible, neither one going to want me. So, you know what I'm saying? So that was always my mindset. If I'm going to go out here, let's go out here and, put all your eggs in one basket. Let's show out, and if that team wants you, they're gonna come get you quicker than that team that wants to keep you there.
I remember a little bit. I remember the call that we had because I remember the conversation about Mike Miller and us wanting Mike, and you were hooping. We had finally found your flow. You know what I mean? Like you went from just being a corner shooter to now you're a slasher. Yep. You know what I mean? Like he was, me and him had our connection. We were vibing. And I remember D-Wright called me and I'm in a room and we got these naps are important. So I got to get to this nap. But we talked about it and you're sitting there and you're thinking like, man, I can't control it. Like I know some people think star players, you do know some things that's going on as a star player, but you don't know everything. And especially when there's people who are close to you, sometimes you probably kept in the dark. All right, Santa Ana. And I remember D-Wright calling me, but I'm thinking like, I'm not going to know until I wake up from this nap.
Right.
Both of us talking, I'm like, man, like, dang, bro, I don't know. But I won't know until both of us wake up from this nap. Oh, the Palisades are on fire? Right now. See, that's what we're talking about.
That's that win.
That win right there.
Mm-hmm. So that's different than Miami.
Yeah, that's way different.
We don't deal with that.
Malibu was just on fire.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago, before the New Year. It was in December. Malibu just was on fire by Florida.
And before that was Camarillo.
Yeah.
Not only Ventura.
So that speaks of the dark clouds that I seen when I was driving in here right before we started shooting. I didn't know what was going on, so dang.
Yeah, make
Prayers to the people in Pacific Palisades, man.
Make sure everybody reaching out today, people tapping in. Make sure we tapping in our people. Hopefully everybody's good out there. Like I said, being here and then experiencing from afar the fires that has taken a lot of homes, a lot of lives, has shattered communities. This is one of the things about living in LA that comes with living in LA. And this is one of, just like Miami, hurricanes, it comes with living in there, New Orleans. And so, man, prayers up to everybody, our families, everybody who's dealing with the fires right now. These winds are strong. Yeah. So you don't know until we got up from that nap. But one thing you do know is at that time you feel the change in your team. Like when trade deadline is happening, you feel the guys feeling a little insecure about their positions and their jobs. And so, you see a lot of teams struggle around trade deadline, a lot of players because, mentally you can't get it out of their minds. Like you said, your whole family may get, put into a different situation and you're comfortable where you are. Your kids are comfortable in their school. I know right now in the NBA, it's a lot of guys, like you said, D-Right, it's guys who want to get traded, which we would talk about the way I can't talk about as an investor in the league. But also too is guys who don't want to get traded and don't want to go nowhere, but because somebody else want to get traded, now your life about to get turned upside down. And now you're sitting there like, hey, bro.
It was all good.
Just because my money worked,
Yeah.
now I got to get out of here because you unhappy.
Right.
So yeah, man, let's talk about it. And like I said, from different perspectives, D-Right. Obviously, you and I have played in Miami. Miami right now in this season that we're in is, the number one topic when it comes to this, the trade conversations. But from your perspective, you didn't deal with it like it's publicly like this, but you did leave Miami in free agency. But from your perspective, when you look at how it's been handled and everything that's going on, what do you think about it?
I know the Miami Heat way, and that's not the right way. You can do those type of things in other places, and it's not somebody really policing that and coming down and putting that hammer. And that was always one thing I always respect about the Miami Heat organization and Pat Riley. You knew who you had to answer to at the end of the day. You knew who was going to tell you the real at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Other organizations you go to, and it's really not that person that that's the guy.
Right.
That, you got a problem or is there something going on? Go talk to him. That's how Pat is. And, Pat is going to do things his way. We're not going to do things the other way. No. So, when I see Jimmy in this situation, it's like, you might be messing with the wrong guy. Because we've seen a lot of guys get traded, and it's crazy. If you think about the guys that got traded, like in my era when I was there, a lot of those dudes went to situations that wasn't best for them, but it was best for the Miami Heat. And that's what type of businessman Pat Riley is. He's going to make sure his team is in the best position to win. So he's going to take whatever pieces that he have and trade for the pieces that's going to help this team be a championship team. So it's just, in my opinion, it's just the wrong tree to run up in that way. So it's a way to handle business, and it's more in-house when you talk about the Miami Heat culture.
Man, I got so many thoughts on this topic.
I bet.
Let me start at the first one. Let me start at my statue. And so, and I sent you the video. I sent both you guys a video of me talking about Pat Riley, and me saying a quote from Pat Riley, and the quote that I said that a house divided will not stand. Right. You either in or you out. Right. At that moment, I took that moment to say that at a moment that was about me. And I was addressing it to the organization and to the players on the team. And I don't get to say a lot of times because of my investment into the Utah Jazz. But when I have my moments to be the face of the organization, I can say whatever I want as a player. And so, at that moment, I just realized, I'm like, man, I am the standard in this organization. I am the only one with a statue here. And so being that, right, being a form of what that looks like, and I ain't talking about me, I'm just talking about the image. Of course. What the statue means. And so being that's why I took that moment and said that, because I know I get to hear the conversations everybody else don't get to hear, right, of what goes on. And Tim Hardaway, Zoe, UD, D-Wright, Q-Rich, everybody who put on a Miami uniform that I know, we were all looking at Rouse like, yo, what's going on over there? Because you tripping. We used to Iron Fist.
Yeah, facts.
We don't feel and we don't hear Iron Fist going on over there. And it's crazy because you would think when you in it, you don't want it. You think you want out. You think you want to go somewhere else. But then when you get out of it, you realize that structure, that Iron Fist, kept you in line, and not kept you in line like a little soldier. Kept you in line because this big world in the NBA will eat you alive. Right. And so that structure kept you being able to be successful. Yeah. Kept you, in a space where, it wasn't just about you. You knew that when you play in Miami, it's bigger than that. I wanted to say that to the players as you hear a lot of bickering going on. We got guys, man, we got guys making $250 million for 4 years in the NBA nowadays. This is on the backs of what every player has done. Right. To get us to this point. We're making more money than we've ever could dream of as a league. And so players are doing that, and then we're still unhappy. We still mad about certain things, right? Because a lot of guys are playing for the bread. Everybody ain't playing to win championships. True. Let's call a spade a spade. A lot of people playing to change their life, like I was. I love the game, but it was about my life changing. And so I stood up there and I said that because the grass ain't always greener. And as someone who was in that situation before where mine didn't go like it's going now, but I was in that situation where I left the organization, I wanted them to know that if you don't want to be here and the way things are working here and you don't like it and this and that, then don't be here. Because this is not the organization for that. That's why I came back, because I realized that when I left, I was like, listen, this is what it is. Right. And this is what all of us, when we get together, we all appreciate, is the way that the organization is ran. And so the organization will not be ran in a way that is going to change to every star that come into the organization. LeBron James only stayed 4 years. It wasn't ran the way LeBron James needed it to be ran. It wasn't ran the way Dwyane. It's ran the way Pat Riley's going to run it and the way Mick DeArison runs it. Right. And so it's a part of it as a player that you don't like. Like, we didn't like that shit. Like, I don't like the way it went down. I'm not sitting here saying I like it. But also, too, you have to stand on something. And so if the Miami Heat ain't standing on something, then they become like a lot of these organizations in the NBA, trying to find their identity, trying to find their culture. No, this is the culture, bro. And so, for one, I'm glad that we back to the culture.
Yes.
I was very happy when Pat came out last year and at the end of the season. As a former player, Tim Hardaway came out and said, thank you. That's what we used to.
Right.
Now, I don't like nasty breakups. And I think what people need to understand is these relationships are relationships. Yeah. And just like the relationships that we in, the communication in these relationships suck. And that's the one thing about the league that really, that I didn't like and I don't like, is that we don't communicate very well. So in this space with the Heat, man, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't have no comment on the trade, but I know what Jimmy Butler has done for the Miami Heat, and it shouldn't have to be as ugly as it is right now. And I don't like this stain on our organization. I don't like the fact that people feel that they can comment and talk about, like, that whole notion that people saying that because of Jimmy Butler's situation and how Pat Riley has handled things, that guys are not going to come to Miami. Y'all can quit that shit right now. It ain't going to be a day that a basketball player ain't going to make $300 million to play in Miami. It will not be a day that you ain't gonna raise your hand and go make $300 million to be the star of Miami. So let's quit that narrative. Let's quit that narrative right now. Sign me up. I go deal with some structure for 4. Facts. So that narrative right there for people from the outside, because of what they're seeing, of how it's being handled, that's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that people feel that they can't talk about what's in house, how we do things. You know what I'm saying? And so. But I do say, to give Jimmy credit, man, Jimmy came in when they was losing the face of their franchise and became the face of the franchise. That's hard to do. He became the person that those kids wanted to buy his jersey, wear his jersey. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so the relationship the Heat was a soft landing spot for Jimmy, and Jimmy was exactly the star that the Heat needed for 6 years, finals, big moments that they've had together. It should not end
ugly.
It's ended tragically. Right. This is tragic. This is a tragic way to end a relationship. Mm-hmm. And so, as a former player, it's ugly on our franchise. It's a stain on our franchise that we continue to have the way that the relationships break up. But also, too, on the other side, you don't run that organization as a player. So you get to that space sometime where you want to do things your way. It's Pat Riley way.
Facts. Or the highway, right?
So what next? So what's the end game? If you had to make an opinion on this, outside just looking in as a fan, what's your opinion on what happens next?
It's going to be a breakup at some point, obviously.
Yeah. But you think it's going to happen before or after the?
Well, I can't talk about that.
Well, I can. I don't own no team. But like I mentioned, Pat Riley is going to make the best decision for that organization, for that team, to win a championship. That's the only mindset. You know, even with Coach Spo, they're trying to win championships. And they're going to make the right move and get the right players that will help that team, win championships. So if that's right now, or if that has to happen in the summertime, they're going to make the right deal for the right person.
They're going to be patient.
Yeah, they're going to be patient.
And I think, some of the narrative out there is that they could not bring another star in to join, the star player, which is Jimmy, that they couldn't bring another star player in at that caliber. Even though, you have all-star caliber players on the roster. And Jimmy has done a lot with what you would call in the NBA, a little, compared to what guys get to win with. But I was in that same position before we end up getting the 2010 summer. I was impatient too. I wanted Amari at the trade deadline in 2009. I'm like, what we doing?
I remember that.
Like, what we doing? Like, I was frustrated at the same time because as a player, you don't have much. We get one body. We get one career. You're wasting my time, right?
Yeah.
Patience, young bull. And then I got rewarded with the patience of Chris Bosh and LeBron James. And so sometimes too, if the communication is there, then you can communicate these things. But a lot of times the communication is not there from the player to the front office. It's the agent talking. Man, this is supposed to be a partnership. When I know when we went to the collective bargaining agreement, it said 50-50. That means 50-50, we should be able to sit down and say, all right, listen, X, Y, and Z, and work this out. But just like every other relationship in the world that goes south, communication is a big thing in the NBA that just won't get right. And that's why you have these nasty breakups, because no one's communicating their feelings, their side. Like when I left, I heard Pat Riley say something about how he wished he would have handled me.
Right.
That would have been perfectly fine with me if we would have sat down and talked about it that way. I actually could have signed up for that plan because you let me know. And so, like I said, man, a lot of this is going on. It's just ugly because I know it ain't no communication going on. And then it's ego, it's pride, it's jockeying for position. And it's ugly on our organization, you know what I mean? But also at the same time, from a person that's been inside the organization, Iron Fist is if we're going to be that way, let's be that way. And the stuff that we've been hearing as former players, we don't like it. We didn't get away with that shit. we didn't get away with that. So when I hear something, I'm like, damn. But Pat J. Riley, he back. It's just ugly, man. And so hopefully we get through this, you know what I mean? But like, you know, when I look at the organization, when I look at all the players that's come through and everyone, a lot of guys have left. A lot of top guys have left because we've run into that guy.
Friction.
We ran into that guy. And when you run into that guy in Miami, you see who wins.
Last lap.
You see who get the last lap. Who get the last lap.
Mm-hmm.
So as you see, what's as far as we can't really talk about trades in a sense, but you see how I was looking this morning where Bray asked Bradley Beal about, you know, what about all these trades, and he hit you with the whole, I hold all the cards.
You got a trade. You got no trade clause.
Yeah,
that is,
a point.
like, are there any other no trade clause deals in the league?
One other one.
Yeah, it's another one.
Guess who? The one player that can't be traded.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. That's the one player that you will not trade without him saying, all right, let me get out of here.
Facts.
So that's major that Bradley Beal has that in his deal, especially as an older player that sometimes your money just works. And you will end up playing with 6 teams in the last 3 years because your money works. You know what I mean? And you know, whatever the case may be. Maybe your talent work over there, but your money work over there, or this or so forth. So it's incredible that at this point in his career that he has that ability to be able to be like, nah, I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah, I like it here.
Yeah, I like it here.
That is
on the road. You want me to go?
Hey, listen, I just left Phoenix and it was pretty nice. That's not a bad place to be. So
that's cold. That's love it. So now, did y'all watch any of your teams? Y'all watching the playoffs?
Basketball?
No, sorry, football.
Football, yeah.
As far as y'all getting ready for it?
Yeah, I'm getting ready for it. I think Ohio State shows some real dominance. So I got Ohio State, Texas, but I really think Ohio State is going to be the one to come out top.
Now, are you happy? Do you follow any of the college playoff stuff now?
On social media.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now as far as this
that's it for me. I only get focused on one team.
Yeah.
Colorado. That's all I was able to focus on the last 2 years.
I get it.
Nobody else.
But are you, as far as this whole playoff system, this whole winning way, this vibe? Like
I love it.
Right?
Yeah, I love the new system, for sure. Yeah.
Because my team didn't do too well this year. Florida State.
Yeah, me either.
Who was your...
Whoa.
You football we talking about. Your football teams ain't been doing good. I ain't heard you say nothing about...
Hurricanes or Hurricane?
They be switching. Florida State, Hurricane,
I never
Gator.
switch. I never switch.
Who your team?
Florida State.
Oh, no, Florida State. Okay.
All right. Yeah, y'all ain't doing too well.
Yeah, we're not doing too well right now. We hurt. It was a tough season, and we're looking forward to see what happens next year. This next year, because you know what's interesting is now I look at all this. We had a long conversation with this transfer portal, NIL. Like, y'all didn't have that obviously when y'all played. Yeah. Like
Well, I stayed in college the whole time.
I'm still not going.
you still?
Hell no, man. Get me to the lead, man. I ain't going
That's
to
because
college.
he didn't go to college. You can't
If I
ask
gotta do
somebody
it
who.
again, I ain't going. Keep that money. Get that shit to somebody else.
I spent 3 years in school. Let me get that. Man, you can bring me back for my 4th year too. I mean, when I was there, they was chanting 1 more year. And I was like, I don't know how broke I am. Literally, my bank account says insufficient funds. Like it literally, bro, I'm not joking. I would have did that multiple times at the ATM. I was like, damn, I'm in the negative. And they talking about some 1 more year. What? I'm out of here. I gotta go get to this bread. I don't care what pick I am. So no, but I'd have been cooling.
Yeah.
And Marquette, chilling.
But I'm glad these young fellas are getting, to the chicken. I feel like it's got to be some type of rules though at some point because I think it's just free for all.
Oh my gosh.
It's really like, oh, they got more over here. I'm over here. They don't even care about the culture, the coaches. They don't care about nothing. It's just a dollar sign. You know what I mean?
So, ain't about winning no more.
Yeah, ain't about winning no more. So I hope they get some type of structure so these young dudes are learning before they get to the league. So they're not taking that type of AAU feel into the league. And that's how you see guys in and out.
It actually exposes what I've always known about the game is everybody's not in it for the same reason.
Yeah, true.
And the media or people, you think because we all wear the same jersey, we're on the same team, we all bring it in 1, 2, 3, ready, break, like we together. No, everybody in here got different agendas. Yeah. And so now we're getting a chance with the NIL, you're getting a chance to see what the agenda is. And the agenda is not a bad thing. Let me get to this bread. I'm trying to put on for my family this. So, but back then we thought everybody had to be a winner. Everybody wanted to be a champion. Everybody wanted to be a leader. That's not the case. Everybody don't want to be a leader of a team. Everybody don't want to be a captain. And so now we're getting to see, like, what is your motives? And a lot of people's motives is, I'm going to get that bread. Yeah. Or I'm going to go put myself in the best position to go get that bread, even if I had to change schools 6 times.
Yeah, true.
So
that's wild.
It is
crazy.
wild.
That is like, yo.
It's the wild, wild west out there.
Crazy, man. Yes, it is.
That's okay. I just want them to keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going.
Keep it going so the college, listen, my daughter's 6. You know what I'm saying? Keep it going so we get the NIL and the WNIL.
Run it up,
They're running it up right now. Keep it going, baby.
Nice.
Y'all see Derrick Rose played his last game. He played this game with his son.
That was so dope.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was dope, man. I'm so glad that Chicago was able to, celebrate D Rose, give him his flowers while he's still here. Right. The boutique when they
so fire.
That was cold. The line around the corner, the opportunity to play his last game at his high school with his son, and then the clip that I saw with him in the front office and them telling him they're gonna retire at number 1.
So fire.
That's got to be a dream come true. You play for your home team. You know how that feels. You have your jersey retired, so I know it's got to feel that much better when you can do it. Somewhere where you were raised, where you grew up in. You admired everybody there. You know what I mean? From the Jordans, the Pippins, to you, all you guys.
I mean, you got guys who won multiple championships. That jersey is not retired. Yeah. There's not that many jerseys retired in the Chicago stadium. Like, this is not just a jersey retirement. You got a lot of arenas where jerseys get retired, and there's somebody you be like, who is that? Not the Chicago Bulls arena. It ain't that many. It's about 4 or 5 up there, and so this is huge. That we get that after Jordan, in that era, that we get another player, in this new era, jersey retired, and so I didn't get a chance to send out a message. I was showing love on my social media, but man, D Rose, you're him. Like, you're like, for me as a kid to grow up in Chicago, we take pride in Chicago. We take pride in the people who come and represent and the hoopers out of Chicago. And for me to say D Rose is to go to Chicago, like, that ain't like breaking news. That's real spill. Like, he's that guy. And so, man, just the way that you represented the city of Chicago, like, you're the heartbeat when we think about sports. When we think about basketball as hoopers, you're the first name that's going to come to mind for us and hopefully generations. So, man, salute to you. Proud of you. Like I always say, I got a chance to watch D Rose play an open gym as a kid. And now to just be able to see his career through high school. We played against my brother, Kadamas, and then get to see his journey and to see everything he went through and to fold it back up to, everything you saw on social media, all the people who showed up for him, showed the love for him. That's the way you want to see the greats in our game get their flowers on the way out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it extends. And so the city of Chicago has extended that love for him. And it's just, bro, it's beautiful to see the roses, you know what I mean? To understand what roses mean, to see him in PJ and to see the Chicago Bulls really embrace him and the city embrace him like that. Like when you think about how your career is going to end, you don't know. And you have no idea. And I think that's the hard part about guys leaving the game sometimes is because they scared of how is it going to end, what I'm going to do.
Right.
D Rose he gonna be next, whatever the mayor of the city is for someone who ain't gonna be in the politics. That's who he is. He gonna hold the city down, and the city gonna take care of him. So, man, just much love and salute to the GOAT of Chicago.
So, are we looking at as far as like saying Chicago has some of the best basketball players all around? I know
we do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an argument. I know you, Chicago, L.A., New York. I mean,
North
give
Carolina.
us some Carolina.
Okay.
Carolina got some hoopers. Seattle.
Seattle for
Like,
sure.
everybody that's sitting in this chair from the city they in, they're going to say they city got the best hoopers, or they state got the best hoopers.
I agree.
So what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking with Chicago. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you was going to ask me?
I had the best of both worlds because my first few years in the league, I was able to go down to Chicago with D and spent a lot of time there where I was even looking at houses. So I was trying to move to Chicago just because the bump was so crazy. The open gym with D Wade, Q Ridge, D Miles, Maggette, Bobby Simmons. You know, the list just goes on and on when it comes to your tricks. So like I had a great time, you know, just being down there playing against some, you know, established stars at that time too. Antoine Walker, you know, so that was amazing. And then I come back to LA. Now I'm in a gym with, you know, Paul Pierce, BD, Reza, you know, young James Harden, young Russ. So I was able to see, you know, on the Midwest side and then the LA side. And I could definitely say Chicago and LA definitely neck and neck. A lot of great hoopers, a lot of future Hall of Famers, a lot of Hall of Famers. So that's always going to be a tough one. Who got the most hoopers?
So if you had to do 3-on-3 between LA and Chicago, what's your three?
Though, I mean, what era the 3-on-3 in?
Yeah. Pick it. You pick it.
It's tough.
If I went this era, I'd probably give the nod to Russ, Kawhi. I need a big.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we going on guards. What we doing?
Yeah, depending on who D pick, I might go Tyson Chandler. Just, you know, somebody that can.
I need a big too.
Yeah, somebody that can run, block shots. You know, sets hard screens, roll hard to the basket, and that all three of them dudes locking up too.
Facts.
Yeah, they locking up. So who you gonna pick?
I need a big. You know, of course I'm going with D Rose.
Yeah.
I'm going with D Rose for sure. And also too, like that says a lot because I've been going with Isaiah Thomas as my PG this whole time. I've always given Isaiah the nod of being the greatest out of Chicago. Now Isaiah will move over and give it to D Rose, I'm sure. So D Rose at my PG. Nobody stopping him. You already know who's gonna be my shooting guard. Me. Nobody stopping him. Who gonna be my third? Who gonna be my third? Man, I need a big, bro. Eddie Curry?
Yeah, I was thinking Eddie.
Eddie Curry? Ooh, Big Eddie.
Big Eddie used to have work. He was out there working. That boy was light on his feet.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna put a pin in that third one right now because LA, you can't just go any three versus LA. Like LA, we'll come back to that third one. I do got a question for D right though.
Okay.
About LA.
Okay.
Who's LA? Who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT in LA?
Who's the LA GOAT? I just said D Rose was the Chicago GOAT. Right now, all the years to where we at, who's the GOAT?
Man, I'm gonna have to give it to Kawhi Leonard.
Ooh.
When it comes to SoCal hoops.
And talk to me.
My guy Clint Parks, for sure, he always, you know, putting on for Kawhi, but you just think about the resume.
Okay.
I think two-time defensive player of the year. Okay. I think he was on about 5 or 6 defensive teams.
Yeah.
Won 3 championships?
At least 2.
Is it 3?
At least 2.
Yeah, I know.
He got
2 in San Antonio and 1 in Toronto.
Yep. 3.
Yeah, so 3 championships.
at least 2.
He got final MVP.
Got final MVP.
He might be getting
He
nod
got
for
two
me.
finals MVPs, don't he?
Yeah,
so.
yeah, two finals
two
MVP.
finals
So
MVP.
it's kind of hard to look elsewhere, man. When we talk about SoCal hoop, it might have to be Kawhi Leonard.
Oh man, woo-hoo, I like that.
Yeah,
That's listen. That list right there is tough.
yeah, man. Can't beat that. 2
He
championships.
got two, right?
Yes.
They beat us, and then he got one in Toronto.
Yeah.
So he got two championships.
One
Two,
with the Spurs?
Yeah, only one with the Spurs.
bro. So when we played them in the finals in 2013, I was guarding Kawhi, but they wasn't running no offense for Kawhi like that. So he was in the corner, slash, offensive rebound. You know, you just take a peek, keep your eye on him. 2014, bro, it was one game. Early in the finals, I was guarding Kawhi. I was like, bruh. Man, he came back that next year. He was so nice, dog.
Yeah.
Like, he was always defensively, like, you saw his mind, you saw his eyes, his hands. His defensively, he was a monster. But offensively, they weren't running a lot for him, and he wasn't doing a lot. 2014 came, bro, I have never seen a player make a jump like that.
Yeah.
You know, in those, we talking about finals. I ain't talking about doing the regular season.
Right.
He won MVP. The year before, you're not talking about Kawhi. The next year he won finals MVP, bro. The same teams. I couldn't guard him no more. I was like, bro, first of all, he's 6'8". Strong. I'm 6'4", getting older. I was like, Brian, you want to come and guard Kawhi? Let me go chase Danny Green, because I can't. Nah, he nice.
Yeah,
he was
I think
nice.
What really helped his development was his handle. Once he got that handle, and you've seen a lot more of that when he was in Toronto, just the stuff that he was doing, having that ball on the string, it let him get to his spots easier. You know, he was already strong. He was already taller than most guys.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to use my handle, body you, pull up. So
Played a lot like Cole to me.
Yeah, heck yeah.
When it comes to, and he obviously still playing, but we talking about those times. Getting to his spots. Like, I was telling someone the other day, I remember this moment with Cole, and it's crazy. And D Wright know, because I used to always be like, D Wright, you checking in? Go get Cole. So I remember guarding Cole, let's say like 2009, and I was guarding him down the stretch. He was on the right side, and he went right, 2 dribbles, pulled up. I had no chance of guarding it, right? Because Cole knew how to get to spots, and he'd raise up. He had a high release. He already tall. I couldn't get to it, right? Game my ass a few times. I ain't talking about game, but like put the game away. And so in 2010, I got a chance to get him on an ISO again, and this time I forced him left. Because I remember the year so earlier where I forced him right, and I couldn't do nothing with him because he's dribbling to a strong hand. I can't go across his body to affect the ball at all. Only thing I could do is try to keep up with his speed and then try to time his shot. I can't affect him that way. And so going left, you're open, right? Because it's his offhand. So his body was open going left, so I forced him left to give myself a chance. And the only chance I had was low because I couldn't get him up high. And it was if you go back and run the clip, I stripped him down low. Mike Bibby tipped the ball, I threw it to Brian. We dunked it, game, wrap. But just knowing players like that they play spots on the court. They pick out their spot and they're going to beat you to that spot. And once they get there, it's over for you. Mm-hmm. And that's what Kawhi Leonard was like. He's that kind of player. He pick his spot, he get there, it's a wrap.
Yes, it is.
So now we have with the 3-on. We were just talking about the 3-on-3. You know, the 3-on-3. There's a new 3-on-3 league with the women's league. Like, are you excited? I know you out there on the court with Kav, getting her ready. Like, are you as far as women basketball, like the WNBA, and just like the development and how fast that's been moving, how fast that's been developing. For you two went out, like how proud are you to see it now? Because you see some people might say some stuff like, I don't want to see that. But I know it's some of the prettiest basketball you've ever seen as far as just the game.
Yeah. I love women's basketball. I've been one of the biggest fans of women's basketball for years. Anybody that know me know my favorite all-time player is Tina Thompson. I used to love Tina Thompson when she played for Houston, and Noelle Quinn is a great friend of mine who I grew up with, who's the head coach of the Seattle Storm. Yep. And then Sabrina Ionescu, she was at camps that I used to do in the Bay. So, you know, the game of basketball on the women's side go deep for me because I just love the fact that they play the right way. You know, they're fundamentally sound. They're great shooters. You know, a lot of people talk about the athleticism. I'm okay with them not dunking and all that. Some girls are athletic enough to do that, but just the way they move the basketball, the way they play, they defend, they compete. I love it. You know, they're scrappy. out there. So I think the game is growing and is heading to the right direction. You got these new young girls coming out of college that's so exciting, like the Caitlin Clarks and Angel Reese and all these new up and coming stars that I think that's helping grow the game. It's some legends that grew the game and got it to where it is. The Cheryl Millers, Cheryl Swoops, all those ladies that paved the way for them. So I love where the game is going. I think the new 3-on-3 league is going to be pretty dope. Right. A smaller court, playing full court, so it's going to be a different dynamic. So I'm really excited to see how the league's going to go.
Yeah, man. The one thing when it comes to women's sports, a lot of men. Let's say a lot of men are the ones that are commenting on women's sports, and I'm not watching women's sports, and all the things that is being said about it. But that you're just a highlight fan if you can't appreciate the game. It's the game of basketball. Facts. We appreciate the game of basketball. Most of my career, I probably had a lot of dunks, but it was a big portion of I wasn't dunking. So I had to learn how to play basketball. Right. And so when you watch the game, it's just like when you watch golf. They tell you to watch women swing the golf club to learn how to swing because you're not swinging for just power, right? And so in the game of basketball, if you want to throw the ball up to the rim and be athletic, you come and watch the men's game. We're going to jump to the top, the Earl Manigault. You want to watch the game and how it's played and how you got to think the game and all the things, then watch women's basketball. It will teach you how to play the game of basketball. And so I hate that. I hate that when people say that. I look at them, I'm like, okay, yes, you're a fan and you have your own say-so to say how you feel about the game, but that just shows me how much you don't know about the game of basketball, what you're looking for. You're looking to get, to grab your friend and jump out your seat because somebody got dunked on. We love that, but that's not the only play of basketball. And so I love the game. What I love about the 3-on-3 league is that it started by players. Yeah. Right? It started by some of the best players in this league, and why it's going to be successful is because they're together. One thing we can't get in our league is what? Togetherness. One thing we can't get in the NBA is togetherness. What the WNBA is showing, they're showing togetherness in a time where it's all about pulling them apart because they're becoming the next thing. So everyone is trying to bring separation to them. And every time they get an opportunity, they get this mic in front of them, they understand it's bigger than them. They are speaking for their league. Because this is about the little girls who have dreams of wanting to be in the same place that they're in. And so, man, quit all that tearing the WNBA down, y'all. Like, stop that. You got nieces, you got daughters, you got people who have dreams and that want to see themselves and want to see people that look like them play the sport that we all love. And so tearing a league down because it's something that you can't do or something that may not fancy you, that's not cool. Just don't watch it. Right. It's other people watching it. I'll tell you that. A lot of people is watching women's sports. And so for everybody out there, and like I said, I'm not going with names because I ain't wasting my time on people who are out there saying that, but just overall, like, appreciate the game of basketball and appreciate what people can do that you can't. You know what I'm saying? I think most of the time when people talk about it, it's because they can't do it.
Hey, you ain't never lie.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what they can do is special. And then now, obviously, there's going to be comparisons. Can a woman be the man? Call them comparisons. WNBA is amazing. And let them get their shine. Let them get their time. The NBA, we had ours. We've been around 80-some years. They've been around, almost 30 years now? Yeah. Like, we've had our time, and our time going to continue to come back. They talking about our ratings is down right now. Ratings go like this. You gotta understand something about the NBA right now. What about our stars in the NBA? They're international players. Okay, so our game is not promoted in America like it is promoted around the world. True. Football is promoted here in America only. That's why they're the number one sports here, and there's only 16, 17, 18 games now. 18 games now. I can follow 18 games. I'm sorry, I can't follow 82, bro. I don't know what you got going on. So I don't like people tearing down the WNBA, man, because they're not dunking. Like, that is what?
Yeah.
Come on.
How old are we?
Come on now.
Do you think with football, how people look into sports? Because right now, this is the first year that we had Christmas is usually NBA. You played in a lot of NBA Christmas games, but then they had this Christmas football game. And then to make it bigger, they put Beyonce.
Don't do your face like that. Don't be like, they had to add Beyonce to make it. Yeah, they
don't get in trouble.
They went out and got Beyonce.
No,
they went out and got Beyonce.
They got basically the Michael Jackson.
Free agent.
Yeah,
they went out and got Beyonce.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So do you think that's the trend? You think that now it's going to supplant What you've normally known to be an NBA game.
Like the NFL taking over Christmas.
Yeah.
What's your question?
What do you think is going to take over Christmas NFL? What you think, D?
I don't think so. I thought we had some amazing basketball on Christmas this year.
What does that mean, though? Like, what take over? Like what?
Like ratings,
because
all
they
that.
have the most viewership.
Yeah,
we
like
can't
that.
get the viewership that they get. Like amazing games on Christmas.
Yes,
5 million people tuned in. 24 to 27 million tuned in for NFL.
Damn.
We in America we can't compete with them. Once again, we have 1,000 games. They have 18 now. Right. Games that they just we can't compete with them. This is America is the sport. Okay. So if they decide to come on Christmas, they gonna come on Christmas. Just all them basketball fans, just make sure y'all tune in. Like I get it. Even that's our shit. That's Christmas is ours. Thanksgiving is theirs, whatever. Right. This is about making money. Okay. So yes, the player in me say, yeah, it's Christmas, it's all right. It's about making money. You know what the NFL just did on Christmas? They just made money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Right? They made a lot of money. And what was you at on Christmas? What was you watching?
No, I was watching basketball, but
you watched basketball. You was one of the 5 million. You was also one of the 20-something million.
On other TV,
split screen.
Yeah, on other TV.
And what was you at when the Beyonce Bowl was going on?
Nah, see, I don't care about the Beyonce Bowl.
What was you at when the Beyonce Bowl was happening?
I was right on other TV.
Oh, so you had it fired up though?
Nah, well, Lisa and the whole family had it up just watching like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was looking at them watching. I was watching them watch.
You watching it too.
I was trying to be, I was just being defiant. I ain't watching that shit.
You watched it. I did too. And it was cold.
I was at Q Rich house. We walked to the back to the patio when the girls was going crazy. Turn it on, she's on. Yeah, we took a walk. Q Rich, Q was like, come on, bro, let's go outside.
Q ain't rolling.
Come on, bro. So me and Q exit left when Beyonce came on. But not taking nothing away from Beyonce. She's a great performer, great singer, all of that. So
yeah, but it's all day.
Yeah.
And it's basketball. Like football fans, they ain't basketball fans. It's a lot of viewers in the world, a lot of viewership.
But what's so interesting is the fact that now that you have all these streaming sports, right? You have these, because before to watch a football game, you watch CBS, Fox, or whatever it was, and then watch basketball game, watch ABC, ESPN. Now with all these streamers, do you think that's part of the reason why you're seeing some of this fluctuation in the ratings?
Oh yeah,
For sure.
Especially if you're Netflix, we all know how expensive Netflix is. So the fact that they're bringing you live sports, like last night, I caught myself watching the WWE thing. I don't even know what it's called, but I seen people.
Raw, I heard.
Yeah, it was like Raw, something. And Dash came in there, Mia, we all in there watching it. So. It was easy for me to access it, so that's why I watched it. If it was on pay-per-view or something, I probably wouldn't have watched it.
Right.
So they're making it very easy for fans and people that aren't fans to tune in. Because I used to be a big WWE fan, but haven't watched wrestling since I was about 12 when my dad told me it was fake, and it was over.
Yeah, that broke my heart too.
Yeah. He
And
did me
you can
dirty.
go back and watch it right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing too, is crazy is I was like, man, that's gonna be weird. No, it actually ain't. Because I may not have the opportunity to watch it in that moment, but I can go back and watch it right now. Right? And so hi Anna. I got an opportunity to go out, and we'll talk about it at the end. I got an opportunity to walk out on the football field in SoFi the other day, right? And as soon as I walked out on the football field, I felt like I was in a VR game. Like, when you play football on VR and then you say, hut, and you're in the middle of the field. That's how I felt when I walked out there. The field was like, it was like 2K.
It was massive,
It was massive.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I was in the game. And that it blew my mind, like, to be in the game like that, dog. It really took me anyway. It was crazy. And it's not like I ain't been out on the field before, but for some reason, bro, when I stepped out there, I was just like, bro, it's massive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so different. It's such a different sport that it's like, for me, it's like, I hate the comparisons, man.
Yeah, I do too.
I hate the comparisons, you know what I mean? But like, obviously, basketball is our show. Christmas is our show. Thanksgiving is their show. But we got a little bit more competition. And that's good for us because, in our big moments, as a league, we haven't shown up every time. And that's the one thing about the All-Star games and these things is it sucks, but that's our showcase. Yeah. And so if we're not showing up when it's time for our showcase, other people think they can come in and take some of our shine. And so the NFL was like, oh, y'all not doing nothing with Christmas. So we gonna jump on Christmas. And now, you see them games this year? Them NBA games was good this year.
They were.
We had some competition. Sometimes a little competition is healthy.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I think Adam Silver is going to do something to trump that or, compete with that because he always does. He always finds creative ways to do certain things. So I'm looking forward to next year's Christmas.
We were just talking about earlier as far as, because I still haven't heard the whole song, this phenomenon that's happening right now in the rap game.
Whoa. Hey, Gelo got a banger, man. Shout out to LeVar Ball, man. He's the real MVP,
Shout out to
man.
LeVar Ball.
A lot of people was doubting my man LeVar when he said all 3 of his kids were stars. He wasn't lying, man. Gelo got the hottest thing in the streets right now, man.
Whoa.
I'm rolling,
yeah,
Gelo.
Fire. I ain't even hold you. I had it on in the gym today.
There you go.
I was like, man, what's all the crave that's going on? Let me listen to it. Bro, definitely took me back to 06.
Facts.
What? Took me back to 06. I was Flash again, baby.
Facts.
I was in my gym like, okay. I want to go put on something baggy. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Yeah, man. He got a banger, man.
He got a banger. Shout out to Gelo. He got a banger.
So now, we coming up to this, this is our new space. And it's interesting because this space is going to change. Like we've been, we got these temporary chairs, everything is temporary, right? But now I'm excited for you guys to see how everything's going to like pan out, like how it's going to grow. Like for you, you have everything that you excited, obviously, that we're doing this. I remember when D hit me up earlier this last week, was like, yo, we got to get on the pod, let's go. Like, it's the top of the year. And then I hit D-Ride. D-Ride was like, yo, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for the pod, let's go. But now we here, now we sitting here. This is our inaugural. We christened this psych.
Yeah, and that neighbor white walls, baby.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
When you first move in the house and this is white walls. You got
all the echoes, you hear everything, right?
You gotta put some carpet in there. You put some art on the walls. Yeah, so it's beautiful to be here. Obviously, I think the one thing is, and even when I reached out to D Wright, he was like, man, I've never done a pod, like that. And besides doing interviews on a pod, he hasn't, lend his voice and his name to one. And you just want to be able to have these conversations about things that we're having with people that you want to be around. People you can have conversations with, and have different opinions on certain things too. Obviously it's great. And so for us to understand that we were doing this, we just started the pod last year. And to be in a space where we was like, you know what, if we're going to do it, then let's make sure that we putting ourselves in a position where it's no red tape. And that's one thing that we talk about a lot is no red tape. Right. And so we needed to get our own space to have no red tape. And so 24 hours, 365, 7 days a week, we can, whenever we want, right? We can come in this space and we can create. And so really excited about Fly on the Wall LA, man. It's looking good. We got ladders and, and things in the back. We got rugs rolled up in the back. We got boxes everywhere. But we in here, and even in the midst of the Santa Ana winds, we in here, and it feels good being in this space. And so I'm looking forward to the conversations that's going to come out of this space. I'm looking forward to the content, creation that will come out of this space, not just from us. Hopefully, we build an environment where others that come here feel at home and feel like they want to be creative here as well. And that's pretty much what we want to do in this space is just bring, have different creators in here. And we can do that in so many different ways. We can storytell. We can storytell through photos, obviously in here, and so many different things. So, man, I'm excited about this space because it was something that we put a lot of time into, a lot of thought into. And so it's the right time for D Wright to step in, you know what I'm saying?
Right on time.
We got an address, baby.
Yeah. Y'all boys did y'all thing in here, man. Y'all did y'all thing. I know it's gonna get better and better, so I'm looking forward to seeing, the creative directors and what do they call them?
Well,
what's Adair and them? What is he?
Designers.
Interior
designer.
So I want to see, y'all skill set, man. I might hire y'all, man. So. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
That's the rough problem. You got to get furniture. That's when it get hard.
Yeah, that's the part we are right now. But it's just interesting. It's just fun because this whole process has been just so interesting because D, when he said last year, if you think about last year when D did the podcast, and I don't know if we're breaking the news right now, but the fact that we're kind of switching how we move in the sense of the official name of the podcast? You want to go share what the official name is of this podcast? Because we've been kind of like dancing around names.
Well, listen, we didn't. How many names we had?
Right.
We ain't really.
You're right. But as far as like where the direction is going, in a sense.
Well, I mean, it pretty much took us back to when we started it, right? I think everybody saw when I first came and entered to this space, I had the gold microphones in front of me, and we was doing the Why podcast. Right. And it was an opportunity for me to sit down with people who I admire and all the things, and sit down and just have a conversation with them. And then you and I spent off and said, "Oh, we want to have different conversations, a little bit more evergreen conversations, a little bit more, being able to touch things that's right away." And so we started the Wind Down. Right. And we just took the Wind Down from a show that I did in the pandemic, where every Friday I sit down, drink wine, and just go live and have a little wind down. But it really didn't feel like what we were doing. We wasn't drinking wine like that. We wasn't late at night. Like we wasn't wind down vibes. Right. And so, we just kept going back and forth with it. And it was like, well, when we started this, I had changed, kind of like the branding of, kind of direction of my branding. And I went to, the why. And I explained, my whole life, people have been messing up the spelling of my name, right? Dwayne. And so this was me, a version of me taking back my name and taking back my why, was, coming up with my new, logo, my new branding for, my name. And so then we spent off and made the Why, which was the podcast. And so it just made sense for the show to be called The Why. Man. Real simple.
Right
back where we started. On the Wide Network. The Why on the Wide Network with Bob D. Wright. I'm sorry, with Bob Durrell and Dwyane. Hey. You gotta roll your tongue. Durrell.
I just started spelling your name right probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Damn, man. That's what I'm saying. Bro, I done a lot in this world. People still messed up my names, bro. I mean, it's people who know me.
Yeah, facts.
I'm like, dang. So
I get it. Well, I don't get it because my name is spelled, it's pretty simple. It's pretty damn simple. You can spell it backwards, forwards.
Somebody walked up to me before and was like, "Hey, you love tickets for someone. Can you spell a name?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Bob." He was like, "Can you spell it?" I was like, "It's Bob." B-O-B.
Come on, man.
There's only one way to spell Bob.
That's it.
Well, we're going to toast it up real quick. Okay. So I'm going to introduce, it's my turn to do the toast. We started this new tradition.
Well, you grabbed that like you knew what you were doing.
Ooh, I know a little something. Thank you. So this here is Babacoot rum. Okay. And I'm not usually a rum. Babacoot. So, this is January. This is January 1st is the Independence Day of the Haitians. Is when it became the first Black Republic. And I'm Haitian. And for me, I felt like what was going to be my toast, right? So my toast is going to be Haitian rum, Babacoot 15-year rum. Okay. So this is it. This is it. So I'm going to go ahead and toast this up for y'all right quick.
Put me on.
Well, okay.
I know nobody know what time it is right now, but we're going to just do a little.
No, that's about
5 o'clock somewhere.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Definitely almost 3.
That's rum.
Yeah, it's
that's him. Wow. Smells great.
But I wanted to just toast this up for the new year.
Yes, sir.
Leveling up. Blank slate. We started up right here.
Tell us.
The why.
Wow, man.
Cheers.
2025.
This is a shot, Bob, or we sipping?
We sipping this.
Okay.
We sipping this. Everybody out there, man, listen, I hope you guys, if you did vision boards, if you got together with your friends, your family, if you was by yourself, I hope you guys brought this new year in. Just excited about the potential of getting an opportunity to live this life, man. Tomorrow's not promised to none of us. And so more so than asking for, a job or a car or these certain trips or these certain opportunities, man, let's be thankful for life. Yes, let's be thankful for the air that we get to breathe. So cheers to 2025, everybody out there. Let's have a hell of a year.
Hell of a year.